Backed by popular demand, we're going to be going suburb by suburb through Logan City Council. Now, Logan is located in between Brisbane City and the Gold Coast. It's a hub. It's got connectivity to the north, to the south, out towards Ipswich in the west here in southeast Queensland. And they're actually planning to build 100,000 new homes over the next 20 years in this council. So that means there's more demand, but there's also more supply coming onto the market. So we're going to be jumping through realestate.com, telling you where the hot spots and the not spots are, looking at recent sales in the last few months, and I'm going to be giving you my thoughts as a local expert buyer's agent with myself and the team at Purpose Property buying here in southeast Queensland. And this is the place we need to be. We're going to be having a look at Logan City Council. So what we're going to do today is we're going to look at sold listings for Logan. So we're going to search by the Logan region. We're going to throw a couple of filters on there. Today, we're going to be focusing on the housing market because that's largely what we buy in the buyer's agency at Purpose Property. We're going to look at sold dates in the last 3 months because I think that's most telling. And we're just going to get kicked off there and have a look at what's on the market. Now, I love the map view. As you can see, this is the outline of Logan here. So it runs down to Undula, Cedar Grove, Cedar Vale, out towards Yatala, and then stops up at Underwood and Rochdale South on the north side. Now, on the west, you've got Ipswich. On the north, you've got Brisbane. On the bay side, you've got Redlands. And on the south, you've got the Gold Coast. What this means is Logan is one of the best connected cities here in southeast Queensland. It's got access to all these other major councils, access to Brisbane and the Gold Coast in particular. And one of the big projects happening is actually happening on the south side of Logan. They're expecting to complete the Coomera connector, which is going to connect from here in Upper Coomera all the way into Loganholme and Eagleby in the next 3 to 4 years. Now, they have completed stage 1. It's taken forever and it's over cost and over budget, but that's just something interesting to note in terms of major projects. Now, let's just start with looking at the prices in Logan before I tell you more about the suburbs and where I would and wouldn't be buying. So let's start with price. Now, for most of our clients in the buyer's agency, they're going to cap out around that $1.5 million per property. And as you can see, there's still a lot of sales at 1.5. As we lower that to 1.2, you'll see more of the dots drop off, especially on this north side of the highway between Underwood, Rochdale South, down to Cornubia and Carbrook. But all in the hub of Logan, there's still a lot more affordability. Then we'll drop down to the $1 million price point. So let's see what's sitting at $1 million. Again, there's still good amount of properties there. We'll drop down to 900K. This is when it's going to start getting interesting. So you can see some dots drop off, particularly in this Regents Park, Hillcrest area. Still lots in the central part of Logan. Now we drop down to 800K. And then you're starting to see a lot of those dots in the last 3 months. So that's houses that have been sold. We're down to 220 properties left. Now let's drop down to 750. There's only 170 properties left, and you can see the Redlands Islands have still got a lot of sales over there. And then let's finally drop down to sub 700K for houses, and there's only 123 properties left. And what you'll find with a lot of these properties is they're not actually housing stock. So they're townhouses that have been listed as houses online. And then sometimes, they're main roads. So 700K sold in November 2025. Logan Reserve Road will be a main road. And Waterford West is an area known with a lot of flood mapping. So let's take a look now at the middle price point, which would be that 900K mark, and what you can buy in Logan for 900K. And then we'll take a look at some of the more expensive areas. Now, on the more expensive side will be this western side, so your Hillcrest, Browns Plains, Regents Park, Heritage Park and Boronia Heights. You'll find a lot of these sales creeping up towards the $1 million price range. So this is an example house here at 28 Hampton Crescent in Heritage Park. It's a small block, 400 square metres, 4-bed, 1-bath, 2-car house that just sold in January 2026 for $890K. Now, this isn't the deal that I would typically be interested in buying myself. Yes, it's got a lot of house relative to the land ratio, but ideally I would rather buy a bigger block with more upside potential. You can see that the house takes up the entire block here. There's a little bit of yard around the outside, but I would much prefer a 600, 700 square meter block if I'm going to spend $900,000. Now, you might find a block more like that in a suburb like Crestmead. So you can see here for 810K, this is a recent sale in November 2025, 52 Royina Court, Crestmead. This is far more probably what I would buy with my own money. You can see that there's access down the side. It's a brick veneer, basic house inside, room to add value. Like, how terrible is the kitchen there? They clearly edited what's going on there. The house definitely needs a little bit of work. Bathroom definitely needs a bit of work. But there's a good space backyard from what I can see here. There's room to do a secondary dwelling down the track. You could separate this with some fencing between the two properties. So you can see clearly that you could fit a granny flat off the back of this property here and keep the other side of the yard for this house. And create a big, if you knock down this covered patio here, you can see that the side access would actually be quite strong for a granny flat. So if I'm going to spend 8 to 900K, that's where, with that kind of limited budget, I'd be more leaning towards a Crestmead over a Heritage Park or a Regent's Park if I was constrained at that 900K price point. As we zoom out, this is your more expensive side. So north of the motorway is going to be north of that $950 to $1 million. Now, on the sub 900K, sub $1 million, I'd be looking in areas like Crestmead and Marsden. You've got to be careful with Logan Lee. Just with the train station, there's a lot of foot traffic. Yes, they've got the state school, the hospital, the TAFE. You're just going to be wary of pockets within pockets. Kingston's shot up immensely in terms of prices. It can be hard to buy deals now, sub 850K in Logan. But Kingston is an area that's really shot up in the last 6 months. Houses were selling consistently in the 700s. Now we're seeing a lot of houses selling that 850 price range. So this is a good example of what's commonly selling in an area like Kingston. For my money, if I'm an investor, I've got to be wary that there might be a better opportunity in Ipswich because you can get bigger blocks there. But this 750 square meter block actually looks quite reasonable. This house is in better than average condition compared to some of the houses in this location. Yeah, it's an interesting one. And so this property has space out the back you'd have to retain to build out in the rear yard, and that sold for $851,000. A lot of money, but could be value for the right buyer. So as we jump back, we've kind of talked about the western side, so your Boronia Heights, Regent's Park, Heritage. The central parts, you've got Woodridge, Slacks Creek, Kingston, Marsden, Crestmead, Logan, Lee. So that's Waterford and down to Park Ridge. So that's your central part of Logan. Then you've got your southeastern side. So your more affordable options are going to be Logan Home, Eden's Landing, Beenleigh, Mount Warren Park and Eagleby. And your more expensive options, which we'll look at in a minute, will be on the north side of that highway. So got to be very wary of Bethania. Logan City Council changed their flood maps about 2-3 years ago. And so pretty much all of these houses now unfortunately do have a flood overlay. They didn't have an overlay in the past, but now they have a flood overlay with the Logan River and the way the council's been very overzealous with their flood mapping. I really like areas like Eden's Landing, but you've got to be wary it's quite a hilly area. And as you can see, not many sales sub 900K now happening in Eden's Landing. If we bump that up to $1 million, I think you'll see a lot more sales. Yeah, so there's a bunch more sales that drop in. 940 is what a 4-bed 2-bath, 950 for a 4-bed 2-bath. So you can see in an area like Eden's Landing, very family friendly, a great size home, 4-bed 2-bath, brick veneer, good quality. You're looking at around that $950,000 at this point in time. Now, as an investor, houses like this, yes, super solid, set and forget. Now, the issue I've got is, as you can see, like I said, Eden's Landing is a hilly area, and so this block's heavily retained. And so you're going to find that in most of Eden's Landing as an example, whereas Beenleigh is a lot flatter as a suburb. So I would much rather spend 900K in Beenleigh, buy somewhere that's a lot flatter. There's some hilly areas of Beenleigh, but there's some flatter pockets. And so in Beenleigh, you might be able to do a subdivision or a development. You can see this block here, a lot flatter as a block. Now, this doesn't have drivable side access, which is what I would want. But someone's paid $795,000 in Beenleigh here for a 607 square meter block. So I'd be leaning towards finding blocks that are flatter. Again, brick homes are great. This home's tidy enough. This is an interesting built-in back patio. We actually looked at this property in the buyer's agency and rejected it because we thought it was too, what I would say, hodgepodge. Too many DIY renovations going on there. But if you can find blocks like this, which are relatively flat for an 8 to 900K with a good sized backyard, it gives you upside potential. And this could definitely have a granny flat with access, walkable access down the left-hand side. You can see there's a shantytown cubby house going on the back out here. So a very interesting property. Not ideal from a granny flat point of view, but it's just something to consider as what I'm looking for as a professional buyer's agent and myself and the team. Now, let's zoom out. And so that's kind of talked you through the central. Now let's zoom out and talk about the infamous areas. This is where a lot of buyer's agents or property spruikers are going to get you. They're going to talk about Park Ridge, or they're going to talk about Logan Reserve. Come in here at Logan Reserve and we'll get you a U-Butte property, 5-bed, 4-bath, 2-car. $985K. And the problem with Logan Reserve and Park Ridge, look how stunning it is. It's beautiful. And don't get me wrong, this is a great looking house. The problem is the scarcity factor. So these houses don't have enough scarcity in my point of view. You can see here, it's a beautiful house. But if we take a look, yep, it's very tight to the block. So big house, small block. And if we zoom into the actual location, you'll see there is so many of these cookie cutter homes. Cookie cutter home. Now this is a bit of a bigger home, clearly on a larger block than some of the other options. But if you zoom out, you can see it's that dystopian housing estate. And if we zoom out further, look at all these, look at all this land, look at all this land around here. You can see, look at all this development that's going on. Now, I don't want to spend $1 million. I don't want to spend $1 million as an investor, buy a house essentially with all this enormous land supply when I could buy in the heartland here. Like I could buy in these areas here or these areas here in Logan or, Shayla Park where I've got an investment property around here. And so I would much rather buy in these areas more built up. You can see how built up these locations are. There's nowhere on the screen can you see more housing supply. And then we come down to the Park Ridges and the Yarrabilbas. This will be Yarrabilba down here. If I switch back to map view, yeah, look, Logan Village, Yarrabilba, and look at the land supply coming through. So people will talk about it's a new satellite city, it's going off. The property spookers will say, this is the place to be. Come down to Park Ridge, Yarrabilba, Greenbank. The list goes on in terms of Logan opportunities or the western corridor of Logan. And I've just got to be very wary as a buyer's agent that I wouldn't spend my own money there. And this really aerial view gives you such a great depiction. You can see Ipswich out here. You can see Brisbane City, how built up that is. You can see Logan and how densified it is along the highway. And then out a little bit out west. And then in this southern corridor, I would very much be steering clear of. Finally, let's now take a look at north of $1 million. So now I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to flip the script. This is going to be really interesting and see sales north of $1 million rather than south of $1 million. And you can see there is a ton of sales still north of $1 million in the last 3 months in all of those suburbs we just spoke about. 1.1, 1 million, $1.4 million in Regent's Park. I mean, that's a beautiful home. Eden's Landing's got sales north of $1 million. So when people think of Logan, it's no longer that sub $1 million area. It's an area that's very well connected to Brisbane and the Gold Coast, and it's got a massive amount of opportunity as far as, being a built-up location. And now you can see all these sales starting to happen on the north side of the highway. These are your premium Logan suburbs. So if we're talking ultra premium, Rochedale South and Underwood are the two most northern suburbs closest to Brisbane City Council. Now, Rochedale South and Underwood operate like Brisbane City suburbs. They're essentially Brisbane City suburbs. And you can see there's subdivisions going on in here. So someone's subdivided and built and sold for $1.4 million a new build here in Rochedale South. And so Rochedale South is an area that's had a lot of price appreciation. For my money, I'd probably be looking between Springwood to Cornubia. I think there's great opportunities. There's great schools in here, access to a main shopping centre, highway access, as well as that Coomera connector upgrade expected through here. And Eagleby is definitely a bit of a gem. It's come up a lot in price. So you can see it's even got $1 million sales now happening in Eagleby. But Eagleby will be well connected when these future upgrades come through. It's just something to very much consider. Now, I own an investment property myself in this region here in Shayla Park. And you can see there's a lot of sales going north of that $1 million price point. If we go the other way, in Shayla Park and we look sub $1 million again, you'll see there will pretty much be no sales. So in areas that are premium in Logan, you're going to need north of $1 million. And then in those other areas that we spoke about, the more heartland, you're going to need $800K to $1 million at this point. We're not taking any clients in the buyer's agency sub $800K in Southeast Queensland if they're looking for freestanding houses. Now to wrap this up, let's take a look at a few more houses here in this premium pocket, and then we'll close it out with some final thoughts about where I see value the most in terms of Logan City Council. So I've got my property in this area here. It's somewhere along this road. You'll actually see it here. I've shared it on the YouTube channel before. It's 28 Baramble Road, Shayla Park. So you can see here I bought this property surrounded by a lot more premium homes in the area, but I'm building a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom dwelling on the back as a granny flat, and I've renovated the front home here as well. And you can see the massive side access along the side. If we zoom out and look at those recent sales back on satellite view, or map view, I should say, you can see all the houses are now selling from $1 to $1.5 million. And so the great thing is for me that I also have a 1,012 square meter block. And this is one street over from my block. Now this is a beautiful 4-bed, 2-bath home. And I own a 3-bed, 1-bath home. So my ideal, if I was an investor between 1 to 1.3 buying in an area like Shayla Park, would be to spend around 1.1 to 1.2, get a great block size, ideally without the pool here. So ideally, if you could pick this property up in a 3-bed, 1-bath format for around 1.1 to 1.2, then that would be a great opportunity to further develop with a large granny flat, or if you could get it through council, depending on the area, a strata subdivision or a separation of the dwellings. And so you can see there are these bigger blocks in areas of Logan, like Shayla Park, but you've got to be wary of the town planning and the rules. So my specific site has what they call a large lot overlay, and so I can only do a large granny flat rather than a strata title, which is fine by me and my personal strategy, because I plan to keep a property in an area like Shayla Park very long term. I think it's blue chip as far as Logan goes. It's a great opportunity between the two cities, landlocked, great schools, great access, and strong communities. And so that's why I've invested personally in Logan, and this is the suburb that I've bought in. Now to wrap this video out, let's take a look at the map view and give you my final thoughts on Logan as a location. So as you can see on screen here, this is the aerial view of Logan to wrap up. Now for my money, if I had a budget of 800 to 900K, I'd be looking in the heartland between Eagleby out to Hillcrest. So if you draw a line between Hillcrest and Eagleby, that is what I call the heart belt or the middle land of Logan. I would tend to steer clear of Woodridge and Slacks Creek myself, and Kingston potentially, depending on the deal. There are some good deals in Kingston. We have bought in Kingston in the buyer's agency, but it's about balance. Woodridge, in my opinion, is overpriced and will continue to gentrify, but it's not where I see value personally. I would rather buy in a Logan Lee over a Woodridge because I think Logan Lee's got the hospital, or Meadowbrook in particular, has got the hospital, it's got the train station, it's got the state school, and it's got the TAFE. There's a lot going in that pocket. If I'm north of $1 million, I probably buy north of the highway. So between Rochdale South and Shayla Park. And if I'm an investor that doesn't want to get the wool pulled over my eyes, I avoid areas like Bars Scrub too far out. Unless I'm getting acreage, I'm avoiding Logan Reserve, Park Ridge South, and all the spruikers selling out near Cedar Creek or Yarra Bilba or Jimboomba. I want to only buy in areas that are further out if I'm getting acreage. Like I'll buy in a Buchan or a Bar Scrub if I'm getting 4 or 5 acres, but I don't want to be buying a 500 square meter block in a suburb like Yarra Bilba with a million other houses built in there. So that is Logan from a buyer's agent who is a local and an expert in the Southeast Queensland field. If you love help buying your own home or an investment property in this Southeast Queensland region, whether it's Logan or one of the surrounding councils, head over to purposeproperty.com.au. And if you want to see more types of these videos, because I did get great feedback on the last one, leave a comment saying more and the area you want me to cover next, because whichever one gets the most likes, I might release next. So write more in the comments and the area you want me to cover next in Southeast Queensland. We're also going to be doing this for Greater Melbourne because we specialize in both Greater Melbourne and Greater Brisbane in the buyer's agency. Thanks for sticking around. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.